Hi guys, I am back today. It's actually Sunday night and I made Indian food courtesy of Little Miss Teacher. She actually, I had made a comment I replied to somebody's comment saying how I didn't have a lot of Indian places near me and I didn't know how to cook Indian food, and she saw the comment and so she sent me a message asking if I wanted any recipes. So I said that would be great, and I asked if I could have some vegetarian recipes so that my husband, right here, could enjoy it too. So she gave me a list of things and I chose 3 different foods. One of them is a tomato chutney, and then a fried basmati rice, and then the third one is potato egg curry, which is aloo deem bana, right? I hope I said that right. So I made this today, and so we're gonna have dinner together, and I finally convinced / coerced my husband into making a video with me. The reason why we're doing a plate view today is to respect his privacy, which I totally understand. So this is what we're having today. This is my husband. Say hi.
Hi there.
And we're gonna be eating this Bengali style, so we're eating with our hands. And then I just have my sparkling water here, and then my husband is drinking, very appropriately, a Indian pale ale and IPA. So I figured since we're going to be having dinner, we should do the husband tag, because this will probably be the last video my husband ever does. I know people would have questions, so we're just gonna go with the tag in this video too. But let's try this. So Little Miss Teacher also said that the curry is supposed to be, you should serve it with a lime. So I'm assuming you just put your lime on top like that. And my husband is a lefty, I'm a righty, but when he was in India, he ate with his hands there, and they said that you're supposed to just eat with your right hand. Like, that's the proper way to do it.
You clean yourself with your left hand, you eat with your right hand.
Okay, so let's try this. How do you do it? I've never eaten like this before.
You just dig in. You have to release some of your inhibitions a bit.
Okay.
Just dig in. Okay.
I put extra chili on his because he likes his really spicy. Whenever we go out to Indian restaurants or like Thai restaurants or Asian places, you know, they have like the scale of like 1 to 10 how spicy you want it. He always gets a 10, and like the waiter will like look at him like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, give me a 10. And then they'll bring the food out, and then they like watch him eat it, and he just like eats it like it's nothing.
Food's great. She did a great job.
Good recipe. So I just like scoop it up like this. Neat.
I think so.
So do people slurp there a lot then?
No. Just you.
I think it's really good. It was easy to make. It's just a matter of like having the ingredients. Like, I had to go to a spice shop to get a few spices that I didn't already have. Like, I already had coriander and cumin, but things like garam masala, which was one of the spices used in the curry, I did not have. I also need to get some dried chili peppers, and ground coriander. And I needed cardamom pods for the basmati rice. So, okay, let's do the tag. So I'm gonna ask you questions, and you have to answer it. So where did we meet?
We met at a bar, the old-fashioned way. I was back in the area for a bachelor party, and I managed to stay standing at midnight when I ran into you.
What was your first impression of me?
Well, given that we met in a bar, it was that you were attractive.
Like my first impression of you is you're dancing. You were dancing and you weren't creepy. There was some other guy trying to creep on me and I didn't like him. Then I saw you and you seemed relatively harmless.
Yeah, my chubby pediatrician friend calmed the waters a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He was there with his friend. Super nice guy. He's like
married at the time as well.
Yeah, he was married.
So
He's got like
non-threatening.
buck teeth. Like
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-mm. Okay. How did you know that I was the one?
All the time that we spent together, it felt right. It felt whole. It felt like you were the one.
That's the answer.
I knew you were the one.
I knew you were the one after our first date. Obviously he knows the story. After our first date, I was living in an apartment complex, and he just I said goodbye to him at the front door, and we had our first kiss then. And after we said goodbye, I walked up the steps and I let myself in the first set of doors, and then the second set of doors you have to unlock it. And I totally dropped my keys and my purse, and everything busted out all over the floor, and I was so embarrassed. I just picked up my purse and my keys and I left everything else out on the floor, and I just scrambled inside the elevator. Did you see me do that?
No.
Okay. I left it all out there, and I went into the elevator and I went up to my floor, and I thought to myself, I was like, I'm gonna marry him. I knew right away.
So you probably sound more romantic than I do with that answer.
Yeah.
But I'm a cautious guy, and
What do you say all the time? You're optimistically cautious, or what? Cautious optimism.
Yeah, but in this situation, you seemed amazing, but to really believe that it's all true, it takes a little more time for me. So
this is Mr. Analytical Dr. Brain all the time.
Doesn't mean I'm not emotional or don't care about things, but
when was our first road trip? We never really did any road trips. We flew, fly places. Our first travel experience together was when we had been dating for about 5 months or so, and we went to Spain together.
That's what I would have answered, just so you know. Probably not the road trip to answer, but first travel.
Where did we go in Spain? We went to Sevilla, Barcelona, and I can never remember the third place. Granada. Granada. That's where the Alhambra or something. That was cool. What is one food I do not like?
What is one food you don't like? You don't like spicy food. You don't like. You're pretty open. Trying to think.
It's hard to scoop the rice.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier with naan bread.
But I'm keeping my palm clean. Little Miss Teacher said to keep your palm clean and you just use your fingers to eat the food. It was kind of fun eating like this.
I'm sure our son would enjoy it this way as well.
One food you do not like. You don't love Korean food. And I think it's not even necessarily kimchi. I think a lot of Korean dishes, vegetable dishes and stuff, have sesame oil in it. That's the oil that we use to, and you don't I don't think you like the taste of sesame oil. Is that?
Could be it.
Sound right?
I think that might be it.
Because when we have bibimbap or something, the spinach and the bean sprouts and everything.
Dislike it. It's just not.
Yeah, you don't crave it.
For me.
Your favorite food, his favorite cuisine is Indian, Thai.
No, my favorite is real Mexican.
Yeah, I was gonna say that next.
Okay.
Real Mexican, street food Mexican, or Mexican. Not like Berto Smalls Mexican. He doesn't get that reference. What would I eat every day if I could?
Chicken salad.
Ha ha ha.
Well, isn't that the right answer? You eat it every day.
I don't eat chicken salad every day.
You eat salad every day. Okay.
I like salad. Your thing?
Is that the wrong answer?
It'd be like,
Pint of ice cream?
yeah, ice cream or like cheesecake or something.
You do that too. You're very methodical in your...
What would you eat every day? Not like what do you eat every day, but like what would you if you could eat every day? Would be like real Mexican food? Indian food?
No, I'd probably just, good Mexican food.
What is a unique talent that I have?
I think your ballerina skills are definitely above the vast majority of the population.
Your talents are... That's a weird question. Like unique talents, like as in like weird things that you can do or something?
Skill sets, maybe.
I don't know if this is like considered a talent, but I think you're very good at always looking at things like with a different perspective than mainstream people do. Like he's always kind of playing devil's advocate, but not in like an annoying kind of way, but in a very like non-judgmental, objective kind of way. And I think that's a very unique quality, and I think that makes you a very good doctor, and I think that like it makes you very different from other men.
It's part of becoming a doctor, scientist, to be thoughtful, question your own beliefs, your own thoughts.
Like for example, if we're sitting there like watching like the nightly news or something, and something will come on and I'll just be like outraged, and like for example, like say there's like a child abuse case or something on TV, and I'm the first person to be like, those parents need to go to hell and let them rot in hell and da da da. But my husband will be the very first person to say they're broken. Like those parents are broken individuals. Like they didn't have positive role models in their life. They were probably abused themselves. They probably have mental disease and a socioeconomic status that doesn't allow them to be educated or to know any better.
Which doesn't excuse it.
Right, exactly. He'll say,
But
it doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it okay. However, there's, I don't know. Why do you do that? And why are you able to do that? Even like the worst story, the worst,
Because living in a world that you don't understand is a very scary and hard thing. You lose faith in people around you, but if you can understand motives and understand where things come from, it's easier to accept things when you realize that there's evil in everybody and there's good in everybody, even if they may seem to be very little good. Everybody is much more complex than displayed on television or things, and I think if you look inside yourself, you see things that you don't particularly like, or you've done things you don't particularly like, and if we were all judged by our worst day, I think we'd all look pretty bad.
Good point.
I don't know if that was outside of the scope of the question. But
Other questions. What's my favorite music? Like, I guess, like, genre of music or something, or type of music.
you like your kind of top of the charts, a little hip hop, dance stuff.
Yeah. But I love 90s music. Love 90s, like 90s dance music.
Yeah, so you like the current dance music and the
Yeah.
90s.
You like a little bit of everything, but you kind of get folksy sometimes.
I do get folksy.
Like, who's that one guy with like the really deep voice? He's like, rah, 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 rah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What's it like?
Rah, rah, rah.
So that's Tom Waits.
Tom Waits.
Who's not folksy, but yeah, I'll give you that.
And who else do you like? You grew up kind of listening to like kind of that heavy metal a little bit, or heavy rock, or what do you?
Little 90s
Like
industrial
Nirvana
stuff.
and stuff like that. I was never into that.
Little alternative stuff from the 90s.
Did you eat your egg yet?
I did. Were we supposed to do something special with the egg?
We're supposed to cheers. That's king. That's good.
But hip hop is the favorite.
Yeah. Tell him about your he took a history of black music in college. In undergrad?
In undergrad, it was part of the it was part of the mandatory classes for diversification within the major. But it turned out to be one of my favorite classes. And
Within what major? Pre-med?
Well, in the College of Letters and Science.
You had to take black music?
Had to take some diversity class. You could do some Norwegian thing, or you could do different stuff. But I took a few other essentially more conventional ones as well. But
is that where you learned to, or you just like discovered the roots, or were you listening to the roots before then?
I believe that's where I picked them up. I probably would have figured them out from my crazy friend at the time. But yeah, that's where it all really kind of came together. Understanding Black history, which is American history, through the lens of
very knowledgeable in Black history. He's knowledgeable in like everything.
I wouldn't say very. I know more than average.
I know a lot more than the average person. He's really smart, you guys. Like, no, like you are though. I know you're a doctor and everything, but like you are just like, you're not just smart. You're intelligent. You're very thoughtful, and like he's the type of person that will read something one time and like it'll stick. And he just, I don't know. That's why
surrounded by much smarter people than myself every day. So, but no, the history of our past to our current is very interesting, and to understand that it's an unbroken line, and 1960s weren't that long ago, but you can take the music all the way back to 400 years ago, when Africans were brought here. It's interesting. It helps one understand the world around them, which often doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
It does make a lot more sense when you understand some of the background behind it, though.
Who's your favorite? Who would you say is your favorite like, Black music artist?
I've always answered that with the Roots. I haven't really thought about it for a long time.
How long have they been together as a group? Because they're on Jimmy Fallon, right?
I think the early 90s. I picked them up in the late 90s.
Do they only play for Jimmy Fallon now, or do they still make music?
They still make music. They release records, albums for the kids.
If I were to collect anything, what would it be?
I feel like you're not a big fan of clutter. You're not crazy about jewelry. You like nice things. Purses, probably.
Yeah.
So when I was in California, his wife gets a new one at least every year.
Your friend?
Mm-hmm.
A new purse every year?
Mm-hmm.
I should do that. like I like jewelry, but I'm not like my mom who has like a million diamond rings and a million pearls, and like I like to have like my ring here, and then I like, you know, nice jewelry, but it doesn't have to cost like a fortune. If you were to collect anything, I feel like it would be like pieces of history, like some sort of like.
You're making me sound more profound than I am.
You are the like I don't know, something with like music or.
Yeah, I've always talked about getting a collection of albums, records, and things like that.
We should go antiquing. I don't even know if they have any antique places around here.
It's substantially more wealthy, maybe cars, but that'd be another level beyond what y'all ever know.
Like billionaire status, like Donald Trump.
Like,
oh wait, show them your hat.
Trumpalicious.
Show them your hat.
I don't want to make enemies by getting political. It's just from what's that show? With John Oliver, HBO, Sunday night.
The Late Show?
The Weekly
Show, John Oliver.
Yeah.
We like those shows. Those are funny. Who wears the pants in the relationship? This is a good question to end on. Who wears the pants in the relationship?
I'm going to say my wife.
I'll say this. My husband is a very, like, we're both on the same level. We both equally pull our share in the relationship. You know, you guys know now that I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. But, like, in his eyes, that doesn't devalue my role, like, in our family and also as a couple. And he has stressed from the very beginning, even when we were dating, how he wants me to feel empowered in the relationship and, you know, like I have a say in things. And lots of times I just kind of like defer to him, like especially the financial things. And, you know, if he wanted to buy a new car, like I would never say, no, you can't buy a new car, because, like, you know, there's that part of me that's like, okay, I'm not the one bringing the paycheck home. But at the same time, you know, if there was anything that I ever wanted, like, he would never ever say, like, you know, no, like, you don't work, like, I'm the one making the money. Like, that's so not my husband.
But I would tell you that it may not fit with our financial goals and my hopes of retiring someday.
But yeah.
But yeah.
You pick your battles well. That's what I was going to say. As he picks his battles, I tend to get stuck on the nitty-gritty things and I get frustrated easily, but he's able to like take a step back and realize this is not worth fighting. Because if he were a fighter like me, I'm a Scorpio. You're a what? Sagittarius?
Whatever that has to do with anything, but
I
early on in our dating, I was getting to the point in my life where I was growing up a bit more, and it was a very conscious effort not to throw the low blows or the easy shots, and
yeah,
doesn't mean it's always easy. But I will say, when it comes to our child, I think you're the more disciplinarian.
Yeah. He doesn't really need a lot of discipline, though. He's a good boy.
He is.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our Indian dinner tonight. He does exist. Some of you have questioned whether Dr. McDreamy exists. He does exist. He's not wearing his ring right now, but I'm not paying this person. So yeah, that was our dinner. And thank you again so much, Little Miss Teacher, for sharing your culture and your food and your heritage with us. I honestly felt so honored that you would, I mean, she like sent me a private message on Instagram, like typed out every little step, all the ingredients that I would need. and everything turned out so perfectly, and I'd totally make this again. Did you like it?
It was great. Hope we didn't offend anyone with the way we ate with our hands.
This is how they do it in Bangladesh.
Yeah, probably a little more skilled, but
yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and I guess I'll just upload this tomorrow for you all. A Meatless Monday meal video. Okay, bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, you can turn it off now. Just push the button right there.